Okay, this is a review of the LEAR. I believe this series is called the AE1d. It's a single dynamic driver. It's tunable. I'm going to do a second video and tape them together so that you can get a close-up view of this. These are really, really, really nice. I've got Wings' Greatest Hits in the background, as you can see, and it's playing off of a Mojo, which is piggybacked. It's very low volume, to be honest with you. These are one of the more efficient IEMs that I've used recently. I'm using EQ that would be looking like this. I'm raising the bass because I like bass. I'm pulling down slightly in the mids because I want to cut off any bass bleed. And these things really, really sing. They have smooth highs. They have a very nice bass that is adjustable by a tuning port that is located here and that you adjust with a screwdriver. And then I believe it controls a vent right here, which is kind of like the ASGs. So there's probably a mechanism for, slightly blocking this hole depending on how you adjust the screw. I reached out to the guy that runs LEAR, which is a sponsor of HeadFi, and said, I run the bass head thread. I'm interested in something with bass, and preferably something that sounds good overall, because the people that are in my thread are music lovers first and foremost. They prefer the lower end. That's the affinity. So bass head is something that is just constantly misused. Not only literally because of what the definition of sub bass is, which is subwoofer and 60 hertz below. Bass heads like that. So when you talk about the range of bass and mids, we're talking way higher up the range, and the elevation of the later bass interrupting with the beginning of the early mids is not something that I'm interested in any more than an audiophile is, and I know by talking with the people in my thread that they're not interested in that either. I mean, you're not going to be able to listen to, Wings' Greatest Hits if you got something that sucks at mids. Let me get out of there. The Who, the Roots, the Rolling Stones, Jay Giles Band, the Cars, Steve Miller Band, Steely Dan. There's a lot of hip-hop in there. Scorpions, Rush, Pink Floyd, Ozzy Osbourne, Neil Young, Metallica, the 598 EP Garage Days Revisited, classic, by the way. Point I'm getting at here is, though I keep a list of the bass stuff, I love all kinds of music. Listening to Metallica, Garage Days Revisited, which has got really messed up distorted guitar and a lot of prominent bass. This is when after their original bassist, I believe Burton, died, and they got their new one, and he was really trying to show up, and so the bass is really up front with the Metallica. This is such a classic, by the way. So I listen to all kinds of music, so that's why I kind of showed you that. You need gear that's going to play that well, and something that's got recessed mids is just not going to fly. It's gonna immediately get. I got a pair that I got to review, and it's going to be coming up, and I'm going to have to ding it because it's got poor mids. And then someone might say, well, I think they sent it to you about the bass. Listen, it's 2016, and 2014 and 2012 and 2010 were never years either where a bass head didn't like mids. So the image is wrong, and to be honest, I don't think that the people who are sending stuff even expect like that, because I'll tell you right now that these are one of the nicest sounding out of the box with an EQ like I do. But I do this the same for everything. I do this for 8BA 1964 audios. I do this for the MDR. The EX800 STs. I EQ for rock and roll because I like stand-up bass, and then I apply that over to hip-hop, and suddenly you can hear all kinds of amazing stuff, like Tupac's All Eyes on Me was mastered really well by Johnny J and DJ Quick, and a lot of that stuff you'll never catch if you listen to a typical bass boosted and highs boosted V EQ. This is really not that. I like all of the minutia in music. So I can listen to stuff like this and hear the coughing in the background during the tracks. This is really awesome. They put $5.98 EP so that the vendors couldn't charge more money. Is the story behind with the title. They literally did not want anybody to charge more than exactly this, which was under the the asking price. They were going crazy with prices at the time, and they tried to enforce this. And later on, they covered this up and they changed it to something else. So. But I've always liked mids. I've always liked, something that plays back distortion guitar, and I had issues with that when it came to some over ears, which, the clothes like the SZ, they're awesome and they do lots of good stuff. Distortion pedals on guitars, they don't do very, very well. So I had to switch to IEMs to get stuff like that. Contacted LEAR and said, and by the way, am I keeping these? No, I'm sending these out to Luckbad to get a review from him too. I'll point out something that is a weak point right away. This memory wire is not that great. This pair might be an issue or something. Everything else works fine. And I'm going to go ahead and do a close-up version of this. But I want to explain to you that I'm listening to rock and roll. 25% of the time, and then reggae, classic rock, and hip-hop. I'm doing it with a very, very nice source, which would be the Mojo, and I want to hear the good sound that I paid good money to get. And if I pay all this money to get this rig, this was $800. There's no SIM card. It's in airplane mode. There's no obstruction sound-wise. This Mojo was $600. The cable, for Christ's sakes, actually, that got comped to me by Forza because something didn't go right. I've got a ferrite collar on it because some people said, you can lose bits of data because of blah, 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 whatever. Anyway, okay, yeah, whatever. Put that on there. Does this make a difference? I think it does. So, I think I'm totally gone when it comes to that. But my source for playing my music is covered completely. As good as you can get. For playback in a portable manner. I'm got it right now, and it's on the left of the screen that you're looking at. So how good do these sound? They sound great. How can I say that clearly? Because I'm playing them in a way with high quality files coming out of the highest quality DAC. DAPs are dead. DAC on the market right now. So that is what I'm listening to when I tell you what I'm going to tell you about these, which is that these are really, really impressive. And when I checked online, these were like $220 in Japan. So I would imagine these might be cheaper for you in the U.S. because Japan is not as cheap as people imagine it to be. These are outstanding. Now I'm going to switch this camera off and I'm going to go into a closer up view of this. Okay, this is a close-up now of the unit. It's got a removable 2-pin cable. It's got a nozzle that can be removed. Why? I don't know. I believe that there's another model where this nozzle can actually be pivoted to adjust to your ear. This one can't do that. It's got a bass adjusting dial. They provide a screwdriver for you to adjust the dial if you choose. Of course, I'm full bass open right now, so I will go back to where I was, which is full bass. And there we go. And you can see the breather hole at the top. Memory wire on the top is not the best that I've seen. This would be the one thing that I would ding off of this item because it's got short-term memory loss or something. It's not the best. Some people don't even like memory wire. I actually do. And this is not the best one that I've seen. However, the cable is a 4-braid at the bottom, and it's really, really easy to manage. It's a nice cable. I like it. I checked online the price of these, and in Japan they're about $220 because I was just handling like $1,000 ones, and there's only a small group of people that are interested in that. These are like 200 and something bucks. Would I wreck these? Oh, fuck yeah. In the video that I'm probably going to add to this, I'm listening to Wings and Metallica and stuff, and these just sound really, really nice. These give off a lot of detail. If you listen at lower volume, these are one of the finer ones that I've listened to, and compared to my EX800 STs. I really, really like the sound of these. Of all the things in my possession besides what I own myself, these are the kings. And that's kind of mind-blowing because I did not expect this to be the case. It's nice to be nicely surprised. I'm conscious of the fact that I've done 2 5-star reviews, and now I'm going to do another 5-1. Really, bro? Really? You happen to get awesome stuff all the time? You're not getting anything that you're going to ding? I do have some stuff, bro, that is going to get dinged because it's not great. And this is not one of them, so this is going to be a 5-star review because this is epic. The FLCs are also 5-star. And then there's another one that I've got 2 more that are not. In fact, one of them's 3. This is a really, really nice sounding set of IEMs, and if you listen to music that you like bass but you don't like to blow your ears off, so you're listening at like a medium volume, which I assume most people do. I'm a little bit abnormal when it comes to the volume. There's a couple people like me, but most people, they want to protect their hearing. So they listen to good bass relative to mids and highs, and these are perfect for that. The video that you've seen, or you're going to see depending on how I edit this, was Wings' greatest hits, and that's just filled with trumpets and horns, and Paul McCartney really liked to get creative back from the Sgt. Pepper days with the Beatles, and he did that with some Wings tracks, and it just sounds awesome on this. It sounds really, really nice. I am a huge fan of this. This was sitting in a box, and I was thinking, okay, which one's up next? I put this in because I was doing bass comparison, and not only was this more powerful bass-wise than the KLRF, which is just crazy, its overall sound is more pleasing than $1,000 IEM. I'm not shitting you, man. I'm sending these to Luckbad. I'm not keeping these. I'm sending these off. I'd like to get another set in the future that have 2 dynamic drivers and multiple BAs. Or do I? Because I just heard the KLRF and I had the 2.5s and the hybrid combo of BAs and dynamics. I've not heard a good execution of that theory yet. I love the U8s from 1964 audio, and they're all BA, and I love my EX800 ST, and that's a single dynamic. So getting the hybrid right is something that's not happening for me so far. This is a single dynamic driver, and it's only 10 millimeters as far as I know, and that sounds like, oh, that wouldn't be enough, bro. No, you'd be wrong. It's got a loud, big chamber. It does sub bass really good. Its mids are great. Its treble is the detail's fine. I don't know, it's really sparkly. I'm really not a fan of sparkly, to be honest with you. I find it fatiguing. This is not smooth. I'm sorry, this is not rolled off, but it is kind of smooth, so that means that it's lacking peaks in certain areas. Definitely 8K is not spiked, which is awesome for me because I don't need to pull that down. So I do reviews for the thread because sometimes we need to see what's legend and what's not. And I do reviews sometimes because I'm saying, hey, you ought to buy this. Listen, $200 for this? Yes. Is this worth it? Yes. Is the sound good? Yes. Can you listen to hip-hop? Yes. Can you listen to classic rock? Yes. Can you tune the bass to a level that fits you perfectly with ease? Yes. Am I saying that if you got $200 and you're thinking of moving to something that might be more genre flexible, is this the one that you ought to maybe try out? Yes. Am I saying this for any reason other than I really love them? No, because I'm sending them away and I'm not keeping them, and I'm honestly considering to go buy them myself, even though I got stuff that already does what this does. It would be nice to have in my collection. Thank you to the guy that runs this, Takto, I believe is his name, and I appreciate the chance to review this because this was a very nice surprise. Good stuff. Big thumbs up, bro.